There's a few brand new Nintendo Switch stories that dropped today that we got to talk about, starting with Best Buy releasing their official Black Friday ad. And if you are a physical games collector for the Nintendo Switch, there's definitely some notable discounts that you will want to pay attention to. Then we also need to cover the big reason why we can maybe expect Kirby and the Forgotten Land to be around the corner and releasing a lot sooner than anybody was anticipating. And then the big talking point for today's video is Rockstar officially responding and apologizing for the quality of Grand Theft Auto Trilogy and what this means for the future of the game on the Switch. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below. Hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. Now, as I mentioned, guys, we're covering a few different stories today, and I want to kick it off with Best Buy and their official Black Friday ad as it is now live, and there is a ton of notable discounts on the Nintendo Switch. So many, in fact, on the games that we can't even cover all of them, but I do want to highlight at least the first page of their sales as they kind of rank them in the most popular that Best Buy is apparently selling them or thinks they will sell. I'm not sure exactly how they're sorted, but this first page of the sale ad does go through a number of notable discounts, starting off with Just Dance 2022 being $20 off, which I couldn't care less about. Then you have Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle at $14.99, which is crazy because you still find that game's at full price sometimes at the $60 price point. So if you do want to hop in and check that out before the sequel comes out, definitely worth it at $15. Then you have FIFA 22 at $19.99. You have PGA Tour 2K 2021 at $14.99. Story of Seasons Friends of Mineral Town Standard Edition at $29.99. Have no clue what that game is. The big controversial one, Sonic Colors Ultimate on the Nintendo Switch at $24.99, which is a $15 discount from its $40 price, which is probably where it should be sitting considering how broken that game was when it first came out. I think they've addressed a lot of it though now at this point. Then you have a couple accessory deals on there. Harry Potter collection, Lego collection rather, at $19.99, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom at $20, Lego Jurassic World at $19.99, a third-party Switch dock at $20 off. Then you also have Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, which of course just recently came out, and that is $20 off from its $50 retail price. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, which is a fantastic port to the Nintendo Switch, and definitely recommend picking those up, especially if you have nostalgia for the classic style Tony Hawk games, and that is now half cost. Then you have Crash Bandicoot It's About Time, also $20 off, coming in at $19.99. Then Cruisin' Blast, another recent release that's getting great reviews and plays beautifully on the Switch, coming in at $24.99, which is a $15 saving. Spyro Trilogy also $20 off at $19.99. Crash Insane Trilogy at $20 off. Then Shin Megami Tensei 3, if you want to get caught up on the series, especially if you're somebody new to the series through to Shin Megami Tensei 5, this may be worth picking up as it is half cost at $25 off. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, also a very recent port to the Switch at $30 off, so literally half price. That's a steal of a pickup in my opinion. Then you also have Hot Wheels Unleashed, which is also a very recent release at $20 off. Lego Marvel Superheroes at half price, Jump Force Deluxe Edition at half price, and Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, another recent release at $15 off. So definitely think that this is one of the more notable Black Friday sales, especially if you're not trying to do the buy two get one free type of deal, because I know if you look at that, some other retailers are doing buy two get one free, and you may have a way of actually getting these games a little bit cheaper, at least for certain ones. But as far as just raw discounts on individual games, I did think that Best Buy had a notable sale for Switch physical games, and I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below if you're planning on picking up any of those titles that you maybe haven't gotten up to this point in time due to their price point. So please share with me all your opinions on the Black Friday Switch game discount so far this season and which games you're excited to be picking up this holiday season. Now, the next story I want to update you all on is the reason why we can maybe now expect Kirby and the Forgotten Land to launch a little bit sooner than anybody was maybe anticipating, because of course when it was revealed at the September Nintendo Direct, we did get a spring 2022 announcement with no official window. But the reason it's in the news today is it has just popped up on the ESRB's rating board, which essentially means in terms of development that this game is either done or extremely close to done. So that definitely means that Nintendo Nintendo is going to prop this up at a good window, and I think that something like closing out their fiscal year in March with a big release like Kirby is maybe how they would want to go about it, and that means that, you know, mid to late March we may be able to expect this title. It definitely could slide into April as well, but I don't think we're going to have to wait very long for this Kirby game at all, and I personally think that's great news, as I am ready for a new style 3D platform action adventure style game like Kirby, and just the trailer alone got me super hyped. My one hope is that there will be a decent amount of difficulty, as just more recent Kirby games felt like they're very marketed towards kids and almost just too simple for me to really get into. And I do think that the trailer so far looks very promising, but I definitely will want to see some challenge, especially as you progress into the later stages of the game. And I do think that Mario Odyssey is a good example of, you know, it definitely has a difficulty curve as you continue to progress through the game, and the final boss fights are definitely more challenging than the initial ones. So, and Mario Odyssey is actually not my favorite Mario game out there, but it is a good one. And so if it's anything similar to that, which it definitely looks like it will be, but definitely just with Kirby's own flair and style, I think it's going to be a very fun playthrough, and it will definitely be a day one pickup for me. So I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below if you think that we'll see this game released in early spring, you know, something as soon as March, or when you personally do expect this game to drop now that we have it rated by the ESRB. And bonus question, let me know if you'll be picking this up day one like I will. Now, the last story I want to share with you all today is one around Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, as of course we recently saw it launch in its digital form. It is not out physically yet, and that kind of plays into, I think, what was really going on with this game, and that's the fact that it was a rush job to get it out before the holiday season. And of course, as soon as the game goes live, you have all types of streamers and content creators highlighting how broken certain sections of this game actually are, and it's not just on the Switch. Like, the Switch performance is not that impressive. It could definitely be better, but it's good enough. I think just graphically, like, it definitely got some downgrades versus the other versions. But even on systems like the PS5 and the Series X, these game-breaking glitches and really just unacceptable glitches were really starting to be highlighted, and it was very clear that however Rockstar handled the port of these games to the Unreal Engine 4, that they did not put in the work into debugging and testing things thoroughly. And of course, it was ultimately just a big letdown for many fans, regardless of what system you're playing the game on, and definitely some noticeable performance drags on the Nintendo Switch version itself. Now, I personally have not played through these games yet, as I am waiting for the physical edition, and I just hope that before I spend 60 bucks on this thing, or actually I'll try to pick it up at Walmart for 50, but I hope that by the time I pick that up, that there are actually patches that fix this thing. Otherwise, I may end up just waiting until a future sale on the title, and maybe just skip through the entire first go of this game until they give it the type of patches and upgrades that it really needs to see. But I do want to kick off the conversation on why it's in the news today by hopping over to Nintendo Everything, where they have transcribed Rockstar's official response and apology for the overall state of this game, and really what we can expect in terms of future updates from Rockstar going forward. Rockstar issues statement on GTA The Trilogy issues, promises updates. Rockstar Games has issued a statement surrounding the issues players have encountered with GTA The Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. All platforms have been plagued by various problems. On Switch, there have been reports of frame rate slowdown in particular. Each one of the games on all systems has also seen their fair share of bugs. In a statement, Rockstar apologized to fans and promised updates. The first one planned for the coming days will address a number of issues. The full statement reads as follows: "We want to provide an update regarding the unexpected technical issues that came to light as part of the launch of Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. Firstly, we want to sincerely apologize to everyone who has encountered issues playing these games. The Grand Theft Auto series and the games that make up this iconic trilogy are as special to us as we know they are to fans around the world. The updated versions of these classic games did not launch in a state that meets our own standards of quality or the standards our fans have come to expect. We have ongoing plans to address the technical issues and improve each game going forward. With each planned update, the games will reach the level of quality that they deserve to be. A new title update is on the way in the coming days for all versions of Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, that will address a number of issues. We will update everyone as soon as it is live. In the meantime, it pains us to mention that we are hearing reports of members of the development team being harassed on social media. We would kindly ask our community to please maintain a respectful and civil discourse around this release as we work through these issues. Once again, we'd like to thank everyone for their patience and understanding while we work through these updates to ensure these games meet everyone's justifiably high standards." Now, first off, it's very unfortunate to hear that there was any kind of harassment aimed at the developers themselves, as clearly they are not the ones at fault here. There was some large boardroom meeting in the top of Rockstar's headquarters somewhere that, you know, ultimately they probably gave the decision that this game had to be out in the holiday window to obviously try to maximize on sales when people are doing things like buying Christmas gifts for each other and doing their retail shopping. And that's clearly why it was probably released on the eShops of the world first, and then also has a physical release later on, because they were just, you know, back against the wall trying to make sure this thing hits before the Christmas time. And so that's where really one of the frustrating things that I think we're continuing to see with games as we walk forward into this closer to an all digital future is the fact that games can come out in really a half-baked status. Like before, that was not a thing. If you got a Nintendo 64 cartridge, what is on that cartridge is the only content on that game. Even the GameCube and even into the Wii era, you know, there was ways to do patches on the Wii itself. That was probably the first game, but you had to jump through a bunch of hoops, so we really didn't see it happen. We're now today in a day and age where the expectation is that everybody has fast home high-speed internet, and they can easily do a 2 gig, 3 gig, 10 gigs sometimes patch to a game later on. And with that, it seems like there's some kind of disconnect between the publishers and the developers and what the actual release schedule has to be around these games, because if they want to hit a specific window at a publishing level, then they force the developers to put this product out there in an unfinished form. And then obviously, as a fan that's wanting to pick up that game, that wants to go back and enjoy it, and you paid full price for it, it leads to nothing but a terrible, sour experience. And it's really something that I hope that we don't see continue as time goes on, but it is one of those practices right now. I mean, look at Cyberpunk 2077 as the perfect example for how terrible that game was, and still really is. It's getting updated slowly over time, but like that game shouldn't have even seen the light of day until maybe like now, you know, maybe now they've had enough time, if they really would have taken their time before releasing it to go through everything. But you know, it's one of those situations that I hope we see less and less of. It's definitely a situation that is frustrating for me, as I'm somebody who's excited to go back and play these games, and I don't want to play them in a broken state. So I really want to hear from you guys at this point in the video on all your opinions and what your personal issues have been with Grand Theft Auto the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, if you did pick it up digitally, and how your overall play experience has been so far on the Switch, and really your 2 cents on this bigger environment that we're in now, where we see these last-minute patches and upgrades from these companies after the game is released. And really share your overall opinions, because I know it's frustrating for a lot of gamers out there when you're spending your hard-earned money on a broken product. So I really want to hear from you guys at this point in the video around all the stories we covered today, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Thanks so much for watching the video today, everyone. I do truly appreciate you all sticking around until the end. I do at this point in the video want to invite you all one more time to join Sunburn Nation if you haven't done so already. Do so by subscribing below, hit the like button on your way out if you enjoyed it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. That's gonna do it for me, guys. I hope you all have a great day. Sunburn Nation, out.